Hi everyone, it's Amanda with Chai and Book Girl. We are continuing our adventures here camping for our Camp Summerween, and it is time to begin our next book, which is The Summer Fun Massacre by Craig DeLuey. So let me just tell you the little blurb and then we will get started with our reading vlog. It looks like a dual timeline here. We have the summer of 1983. A blood-soaked summer camp counselor is found staggering down a country road. The sole survivor of a horrific massacre, Mary tells a nightmare of a masked maniac wielding an old skinning knife. Arriving too late to help, her boyfriend, Tom Bailey, is plagued by guilt. Then we have now, the summer of 1992, the camp reopens as Camp Summer Fun. Now a sheriff's deputy, Tom, doubts this is a good idea, but the camp has been refurbished. The counselors have been hired and the little campers are on their way. Responding to reports of a blood-curdling howl near the camp, he again arrives too late to save anyone except a single brutalized teen. The killer, nowhere to be found. Hoping to catch the killer and finally right his mistakes, Tom reconnects with Mary. She's convinced that the killer is not human, but instead a rural legend known as the Hungry Hare. The sheriff wants the case closed, but refuses to believe in folklore. Mary dreams of revenge for her friends, and Tom hunts for any traces of the real or the fictional. But the murderer could be closer to home than anyone expects. The hare is coming, and is so hungry. Ooh, this sounds like fun. This sounds like we may have... Will we have a little bit of supernatural in here? We definitely have some like campfire lore, just like we had in Heads Will Roll by Josh Winning, where we had kind of the campfire horror story of Knock Knock Nancy. So this sounds like we've got a campfire scary story about the Hungry Hare. I'm very excited to start reading this, so let's do it. Hey everyone, it's Amanda, and I am sitting here in the camper reading Summer Fun Massacre by Craig DeLuey, and can you hear? It's raining! This is so much fun. Oh, there is nothing I love better than camping and hearing rain on either the camper or the tent or whatever it is that I'm camping in. There's something so magical about rain in the forest. I just love it. Okay, so I am on chapter 7 of Summer Fun Massacre. Why can't I not get that right? I always want to call it the Fun Summer whatever. Anyway, Summer Fun Massacre. And so the very beginning was really good. Like, we were right in the middle of like this horrible event at this camp. We kind of go between 1983 and the horrible tragedy that happened at this camp then, and then in the present day of 1991, where another terrible tragedy is happening at the camp that is just reopened. And that is where the first chapter is. The camp is just reopened. There are campers coming the very next day, and all of the camp counselors the night before have all been brutally murdered. There's only one camp counselor that has survived. And so that is where we open up in chapter 1. This horrible massacre has taken place. We have one survivor, and now everybody is kind of trying to figure out how that relates to what happened in 83. And now I'm on chapter 7, and the last 6 chapters have basically been the deputy and the sheriff talking. Like, nothing has really happened. I mean, we kind of get little tidbits here and there about like the town. This is a very small town in Texas, and we kind of get a little bit of the dynamics about what's happening in town. The chief of police is up for re-election this year, and so there's a lot of pressure on him, and like we're kind of getting a lot of that type of thing that I honestly don't really care about right now. And maybe I will later once I get later into the book, but right now I really just want to know what happened in 83, and I want to know like more about kind of this legend of the Hungry Hare and how that all comes into it. I don't really care much about this dialogue that's going back and forth for like 6 chapters. So I'm having kind of a hard time getting myself into this book. This isn't like it was with the Josh Winning books, the Josh Winning book that I read, Heads Will Roll, where that one was very fast paced and the plot just kept moving forward. And I find that this one, we're getting, at least these chapters, where I'm getting a lot of dialogue. I'm getting a lot of, you know, the deputy is feeling this way about it and the chief of police is feeling this way about it. Like a lot of feelings and and thoughts and like, why are they feeling this way? Oh, it's because, you know, the chief of police is up for re-election this year, and so he really needs to get this case solved. It's like, I don't really care about any of that. Like, I just want to know, I want to know what happened in 83, and I want to know how that ties into what just happened, you know, like what just happened. And so anyway, I am struggling to get into it, but again, I'm only 7 chapters in, so I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing through, and hopefully it will get better, and it will get a little bit more exciting, and we'll get a little bit more context and a little bit more detail and a lot more Summer Fun Massacre. Look, I said it right that time. Anyway, so I'll keep on keeping on, and I'll check in with you guys later. Hey guys, it's Amanda, just checking in with you. I don't know what to do. I'm 100 pages now into the Summer Fun Massacre, and nothing is happening. Like, we had that really great first chapter, like the massacre happened, it was really exciting, it was great, like there was whodunit, it had a great start, right? It really drew you in, and then nothing. Like, I understand that this is told from the deputy's point of view, so we're kind of following him around, like he's doing paperwork, like he's, I don't know, just kind of like going about his day or whatever. But I mean, I just got done reading practically a whole chapter where he cleaned his gun, and like I don't care. Like, can't we just bring back the killer? Can't we just like go back to camp and like have more massacring happening? Like, so I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should keep going, if I should DNF it. I don't know if it's gonna get better. Anyway, I'm torn. I'm not exactly sure what to do, but I'm so bored. Anyway, maybe I'll start another one and come back to it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Anyway, I'll check in with you guys in a bit. Good morning, everyone. Another beautiful day out here in the wilderness. It is a wonderful 75 degrees this morning, and it is absolutely stunning out here. So when I last left you, I was reading Summer Fun Massacre by Craig DeLuey, and I just didn't know if I could do it. It was just boring me so much. And I decided, so today is my last day in the beautiful Kaibab National Forest, and I thought, instead of wasting my last day on a book that just was not giving me vibes, I have decided to set that book aside. I made it 30% of the way through, and it was just so disappointing. Nothing was happening. It was boring me. That does not mean that I won't go back to it and push my way past and hopefully get into some really good murdering, but at the moment I do not want to waste my time here on a book that is not vibing with me and giving me that Camp Summerween love that I'm looking for. So this morning I am going to be starting a new book. So we are going to go with Breathe In, Bleed Out by Brian McCauley. McCauley, is that how you say his last name? Anyway, sorry if I'm messing that up. And this one is giving me very much Heads Will Roll vibes, which I really enjoyed that book. So hopefully this one will be just as fast-paced, just as exciting. No boring books here, please. So we have our female main character. She has some trauma in her past. She went out in the wilderness with her fiance and lost him and came back without him. So when her and her friend group get an exclusive invitation to they're calling it a spiritual retreat in Joshua National Forest, no electronics again, just this kind of opportunity to reset, kind of wash away the world and kind of get back to your inner self. A lot of kind of, you know, hot baths and yoga and meditation and, you know, all of those type of things. We have a murderer that shows up and starts picking off, you know, these retreat attendees one by one, and she has to step up and try and figure out, you know, why this murderer is here, what is the murderer after, and how does it tie in with the trauma from her past. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I am going to start it right now, and so I'm going to set you up, and we are going to read with this beautiful background this morning. So this, funnily enough, if you can see it, this behind me, this is Jacob Lake, which is actually not a lake at all. It is more of a pond, and the pond is kind of dried up right now, so it's really kind of a meadow. So we are going to read with the Jacob meadow behind us. Anyway, it's absolutely beautiful this morning. So I am going to set you up and grab my Kindle, and we're going to get started on Breathe In, Bleed Out. Hey everyone. Okay, thank goodness I am on chapter 8 of Breathe In, Bleed Out, and this is fantastic. The pacing is quick. It is not boring in the least. We already have like at least half a dozen people that are acting super sus. We have a mystery happening, and it's just so much better than the last book. So I'm super pleased. I'm super excited. I've only been reading, I think, less than an hour, and I'm already further than I was in the last book that took me all day yesterday to get into. So I'm super pleased about it. I'm super happy about it. And so I'm just going to keep on reading, and I will check in with you later. Everyone, sorry, I had to take a bit of a break. I got stung by a bee. I guess that's what you get for being out in the wilderness, but I don't have a very good reaction to bee stings. Like, I'm not allergic or anything, so I don't need like an EpiPen or anything, but like my hand is like getting all swollen, and so anyway, I had to take care of that, and so I had to take a little bit of a break from reading, but I am really, really enjoying this book. It is so much better. I think I'm on chapter 13, and it's way better. The female main character and her friends are at the retreat, and some kind of sus things are happening. So the guru at this retreat is kind of expressing himself like he can talk to spirits, like he can commune with the dead and things like that. And so he's kind of making it sound like, in not so many words, that he can commune with our female main character's dead fiance, and is kind of making it, but he's kind of doing it in like this really sus way, like almost accusing her and like making her feel guilty and like she has something to hide. Anyway, it's very sus. And we also learn that our female main character she has survivor's guilt, but that there's also kind of this storyline, or like there's something that happened while she and her fiance were in the wilderness, that something happened that was very very bad, that nobody knows the whole story to. Like, she's the only one that's privy to it, and it was really bad, and so she also has like this guilt about whatever it is that happened. So yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm still at the beginning of the story, but it's moving very quickly. We still again have kind of a handful of these side characters that they're kind of being introduced to us along the way, and they're acting really sus. And so we're kind of building into this story still, but it's got a really good pace to it. It's not boring. It's not going, off on these little tangents. It's really keeping with the storyline. It's really giving us a lot of clues, a lot of hints, and it's good. It's good. I am definitely not pleasantly surprised, but I'm really happy that this is going well, and that this is going differently than the last book that I was trying to read yesterday all day and only got to chapter 8. That was so frustrating for me. So I will continue on, and I think I'm going to take some ibuprofen, maybe a nap, and then I will keep reading Breathe In, Bleed Out, and I will keep you updated soon. Hey everyone, I am back with an update. I finished Breathe In, Bleed Out by Brian McNulty. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'm done. It was so much better than Summer Fun Massacre. I inhaled this book. It was fast-paced. It was not boring at all. We just kept going from one kill to the next, and these kills were very creative and very imaginative and very gory. Some of them were. I was enthralled. It was great. So this book is around 300-ish pages, so it's not super long, which was nice because I was trying to get, finished with it today, since today's my last day here. So we have our female main character, Hannah, and she's a hot mess. She has some real trauma that she is trying to work through. She and her fiance were in the wilderness doing some backpacking, which it sounds like they did a lot of. He is like a wilderness, like a wildlife photographer. So it sounds as if this is something that they did frequently. But this time they were out in the wilds during like the winter time. And so they are using snowshoes, they are using ice picks, they are using the little metal teeth things that you put on your boots. I don't know what they're called anyway. And tragedy strikes and she ends up coming out of those woods alone. And her fiance dies. She has survivor's guilt and she just is not doing very well. She has to see a therapist, she's on medication, and she just has a lot of trauma, so she's not doing very well. And there is an accident at her workplace. She works in the medical field, so obviously an accident in the medical field is not good. And so she is put on indefinite leave, and which is good timing because her friend has somehow finagled herself an invitation to one of the most exclusive spiritual retreats in LA. It takes place in Joshua Tree National Forest, which is not really a forest at all. It's basically desert in the middle of the desert with obviously Joshua trees everywhere. And she doesn't want to go. She has really been in the last couple of years really pushing away her friends, really pushing away everybody and isolating herself. But in the last little while, she has really begun deteriorating mentally, and she has started to hallucinate, not just having nightmares at night, but during her waking hours, she has started to hallucinate and see things that aren't there. And this kind of pushes her to realize that she's not getting better. And so she decides that she is going to say yes, and she's going to go with her friends to this spiritual retreat. And as soon as they get to the spiritual retreat, just everything is so weird. Like the guru there is weird, his assistant is weird, everyone starts acting weird, like they just start kind of airing all their dirty laundry and like just start, they're at each other's throats, they're just angry all the time. And of course the guru is like, oh, this is us like detoxing our feelings and I don't know, whatever. And it just kind of is not, like, it's just all sus. Like, they're all mad at each other. And so as these murders start taking place, like, anyone can be a suspect. Like, everyone is a suspect because it's just, the whole thing is just, everyone is acting so crazy. And we also kind of get the sense from this guru that he feels like he can commune with the dead. Like, he is this spiritual medium and that he is communing with her dead fiance. And so we get the sense from her early on that we don't really know that she's a reliable narrator, because not only is she seeing things that aren't there, but now this guru is saying that he's communing with her dead fiance. And so she, even herself, as her point of view, she doesn't know what is real and what is not. Is what she's seeing real, or is it just in her mind? And so she's kind of going on this kind of brink of insanity journey, but at the same time we know that there is a killer out there. We know that he's taking out, these people, and she's seen him, she's seen the killer, but she thinks it's in her mind. And so she's not, it's very crazy. And like I said, the kills were so creative and so gory in some places, like even my stomach was kind of turned a little queasy. And he does a really good job of moving the plot along and making this go really fast so that you're constantly just wanting to know, like, what is going to happen next, who is the next victim, and can we get closer to figuring out who this is. By the time the end came, I had no idea who done it. And it was one of those like Scooby-Doo moments, right? Where they pull off the mask and it's one person and you're like, oh my gosh, I never saw that coming. But then like Shaggy all of a sudden pulls off a second mask and you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I never saw that coming. It was like that. Like they kept unmasking and unmasking it, and you're just like, what is happening right now? So it was great. It was excellent. Very fast paced. It was like we just had kills all over the place. The murder was present the whole time. Like it was great. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely give this 4.25 stars, and I am very glad that I read it. So super pleased with it. I would definitely recommend it if you are looking for something, you know, in the horror slasher type genre. This one wasn't set at a summer camp necessarily, so I don't know that it fits into that like summer camp slasher, but it definitely had that kind of retreat vibe going on. So I thought that it was giving me those vibes anyway. So I'm very pleased that I was able to read this book and finish it on my last day here. I may even have time for a quick novella this evening to read on my last evening here. We'll have to see how that goes. I will update you and let you know if I decide to do that. But until next time, happy reading. Bye.